range. Does that matter? I suppose it just depends whether you're a top or a bottom kind of person. One thing I'm definitely not going to do about those is grill shape. Is it all the grill? Don't know why they've done that. So overall, I do like the look of this car, but what do you think? In fact, I tell you what, seeing as we're at this Mercedes Classic Centre, let me know which you think is the best looking S-Class ever. The first generation model, the second generation car, the third generation one, the fourth generation, the fifth generation, the sixth generation, or this new seventh generation. Let me know in the comments below. If the outside of this car is controversial, then the interior definitely is very different. Most noticeable because of these screens. So Mercedes got rid of loads of buttons because you now control most stuff through the central entertainment system. Now I'm going to go into the full details of what it can do later on in the video. I just want to talk about the design for now. I love how this is integrated into the centre console. It looks absolutely stunning. I'm not so sure about this screen here though. It seems a little bit plonked on top of the steering column. I did like the old car with the banker screens. I'm sure I'll get used to this because the screens themselves, the definition is incredible. So is the actual quality in here. This would fit. It mimics that on luxury yachts. And the way it all wraps around you as well, it's gorgeous. This car is fully laid. We've got the softest leather, the finest materials, and it really, really does feel special in here. Everything feels so luxurious. The switches, all metal. I like what they've done with the light switch, the way it's just up here. It's really nice. The steering wheel as well. It's got wood on the outside, lead on the inside on this one. And of course, the column is electrically operated. It feels so expensive. I really like the design. One thing to note, the air vents, they're now square, whereas on the old car, they were round, as though square is the new round. There we go. It is in Mercedes world anyway. Now let's talk about in-car storage. So underneath here, you've got some space. Actually, that release button feels way nicer than on the old car. It's really cheap and nasty. The previous S-Class. This has a... Under here, you've got space for your mobile phone. It's got wireless there. There are two USB-C there, and this is lined with a really lovely soft top. I just want to pet it. Look, it's a small mammal. Here are your cup holders. They can hold larger bottles. Isn't that lovely? And there's two more USB-C inputs there. It's very modern. It's just all USB-C in here. Then there's some more storage here and another wireless charging pad as well. That's good. Door bins. They look smaller than before, but they do actually hold these bottles, so can't complain about them. There's some more storage just around here. Hello, look. That's where you can leave your wallet. Forget about it. And then the glove box is a reasonable size. Plus, look, you've got a through the ventilation system to keep things smelling sweet. There's one thing to switch about. The store, the gear select, of a car that starts from £80,000, and this one with all the options on, it's be well over £100,000. So I suppose I can just kind of fluff up the pillows. And there are some other features that do make up for all of that. Like, look at the detailing around the It's lovely mood lighting. I like the fact that you don't just have one supervisor, you have two, so that you can completely show yourself if the sun is getting in your eyes. And there's leather for the grab handles as well. And the roof lining on the car is a really nice fake suede effect. I like this thing. When you need to drive, and I just come in here to relax. For the proper S-Class experience, you need to be in the back seat. And the car is actually slightly more roomy in the back than the previous generation version, and I could do the old knee room and headroom test, but it's pointless because I've got so much space. You can get the car with a 3-seater in the back or various other configurations. This has the 2-seater first-class seating, so the very top of the range. So if I press this button here, the way the recline, pop out the footrest, and I really can relax in this thing. Take its time. Come on, you can do it. Bear with me. Here we go. Undercar support. And finally, my little heel rest. This is great in here. I also like when they have this wraparound effect with the wood trim and ambient lighting. That is really nice ambient lighting, isn't it? And really ambient lighting in the sofa cup holder. Great. This guy's fully loaded, so we've got the infotainment screens there, which I can't carry. Still, I can use this one to control all the functions here in the back and for some of the rest of the car as well. So you've got the removable tablet. That's standard. Obviously, those screens are an upgrade. Using this if I want to. There's lots of other things to play with as well. If I go in here, we have the top holders and they're heated or cooled, depending on what you want to do. We've got 4 zone climate control as well. Underneath here, we have 4 USB-Cs, 2 HDMIs, 12-volt socket, a wireless charging pad, and very expensive feeling tables. So they're a little bit long. Good job this car's got really good suspension. Through here you have a hatch which leads into the boot, so you could carry skis, I suppose, if you wanted to. Or if you want, you can actually upgrade it to have a fridge, so you've got champagne and stuff in there. Now if the sun is bothering you, doesn't really matter because you can put up your blinds. Then, this is one of the things I want to show you. They're quite common in luxury coupe belt bucklers, but you also get them here. You've got to open the door. Yes, sir. Out he comes. You have to do too much. Travel, is it? Don't want to get out of here. Unfortunately, I can't rest because I need to continue with it with you. Let's talk about the rig. Obviously, you've got the operating style. Luckily, I can better look the carpets are even nice and flush when you've got a little. Good. So the capacity is 550 litres, which is 20 litres more than on the old S-Class. Something to note though, if you go for the reclining seats or the fridge, you get S-Class. The car has a weird ability to teleport you 2 months into the future and into a miserable car park in England. You change your clothes. It's nothing to do with COVID. The shiny air vents on the top of the dash really reflect in the windscreen, and it's particularly bad depending on where the sun is, and it's quite distracting. This piano black plastic looks really nice, but it smudges super easy. Look at that. Yeah. Also, scratches as well. This is a brand new. The buttons for changing your driving mode is down, which may not be when you're driving along though. You do have to look down. Touch and skip button. Do that. That's it. And then if you want to suddenly jump to a different setting, you have to press the screen. You might need to put a rotary dial like they have on AMG cars. It's just much better having it on the steering wheel. Oh, and I don't. They won't move these buttons. So then. The rear doors are so huge and ever so wide that to open them all the way, you really have to like, oh, come on! And then when you want to shut them, you're obviously leaning out the car. Sort of needs that effect you get in the Rolls-Royce Ghost, where you press the button and the door will open for you. So of course, you can just get your chauffeur to do it, I guess. Yes, sir. If you're a chauffeur, you may not be too keen on the fact that your rear passenger can actually monitor your throttle and your brake inputs. Look at that. Oh, look. Yeah. And so you could be in a situation where your VRP says to you, listen, Mr. Chauffeur, if I do more than 20% on each of those, you're fine. For such an expensive, luxurious car, it seems a little bit It reminds me of one of those Wi-Fi dongles. Thankfully, this car has plenty of cool features to help make up for all this. Here's 5. You can get this car with rear wheel steering, which isn't uncommon to get on other cars. However, on other cars, they move the back wheels by about 3 degrees. On this S-Class, it moves by 10 degrees. Look at this. So when you're going slowly, it'll move the back wheel in the opposite direction to the front. It reduces the turning circle by 2 metres. That means that this huge barge is as manoeuvrable as a little hatchback. And then round in circles. in quite a small space, considering how big this car is. Obviously, when you're going quicker, then the back wheels move in the same direction as the front to aid your high speed stability. This is the best round view camera I've seen on any car ever. The detail is incredible. And it is this car, right fellow, that if I turn the steering wheel, you will actually see the wheels turn in the image. If I put the indicator on, it goes on the image. This is utterly brilliant, and it makes it so easy to park it in tight spaces and manoeuvre through those horrible width restrictors. You can get digital headlights for this car, and they contain multiple able to direct the light beam precisely where a car wants it to go. So it can really use a thing of blanking out parking space and you don't dazzle passing drivers. You can also highlight pedestrians at the side of the road, and that's not all. It can even project images onto the road to give you guidance as the driver. You're not allowed to do that just yet due to laws, but it is a big compliment. You know how most cars with a driver spot monitoring, you'll get like this little light here on the wing mirror. On this S-Class, we call LED strip ambient to really get your attention. This car is filled with electric motors. So there's 20 different motors used in the ventilation system to control all the flaps. Then there's 19 motors in the seats. You've got 8 for adjustment. You've got an extra 1 for your lumbar support. Then there are 5 for the ventilation system within the seat. By the way, the machine that punches the holes in the seat has 16,000 needles on it. Then there's 4 other motors for your massage function, and there's 10 different massage programs to choose from. But that's not all. There are even vibration packs built into the seat, connected to the stereo, just to amplify the bass so you feel it through your back. Now let's talk about the S-Class's infotainment system, because it really is a highlight. So this main screen uses OLED technology, and it's very crisp, very bright, super responsive. And it runs the usual MB operating system, so it's Mercedes' latest system, which is the best in the business. Now it does have voice commands, and sometimes it does chirp up like another Mercedes. It's generally quite good, so it does understand things such as, "Hey Mercedes, my bottom is cold." Okay, so it's not perfect. Like with many systems, sometimes it's well, that's all very interesting, Mercedes, but it's nothing to do with what I do. It can do things like programming your sat-nav, it can set the temperature, but it doesn't work perfectly, as you just witnessed for yourself. I don't bother with these voice commands, they do my head in. It does have a sense of humour though. Let me just try one last thing. "Hey Mercedes,
How can I help?
tell me a joke."
적은 전장의 화신입니다.
Because it's sort of salad dressing.
Let's move on for the voice commands. So I wouldn't bother with that, I just use the screen. It's fairly intuitive, and while the climate control buttons are actually run through the touchscreen, it's fine. That little vibration like the mobile phone when you touch it. Let's move on to the digital drivers display, because this is special. So as before, you can control it using the buttons on the steering wheel. They're touch and press. So I don't like the fact that they're touch and press, because that gets a bit confusing if you don't know which one to do. Do you touch, swipe, or do you press? Anyhow, you can change the view of it, and the graphics are good. Once again, very sharp, very clear, lots of information on there. It has a 3D effect. I can make all the images on there 3D. So the cameras behind the screen are actually monitoring my eyes, and they're doing 2 images. So when you're looking at it with 2 eyes, then you get this 3D effect. It doesn't actually work on the cameras, but I can give you an effect of it from the rear. So if I'm moving around, it's monitoring where my eyes are, and it's sort of moving and adjusting the image so it looks 3D. What you'll be picking up on the camera is that the image is starting to shake. That's the best way I can illustrate it. You have to be sat here with 2 eyes looking at it, and it is insane. In fact, it's so insane I find it a little bit off-putting, so I'm just going to drive around with it normal. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. And I think I'm saying the word brilliant quite a lot. Time to talk about money. So the new Mercedes S-Class starts from just under £79,000. However, look at this, right? You can save an average of £6,000 off one through CarWow already, and it's brand new. Now, if you'd like to see how much money you could save on a new car, put a little link. It'll be popping out in the top right corner of the screen. You can click on that and get a CarWow and see how much you can save on an S-Class or any new car for that matter. Alternatively, after this video, you can just Google help save CarWow, and I'll see you how what car for you to get for a fair price. Now let's talk about the engine choices on the S-Class. So here in the UK, you get the S500, which is what this car is, and it's a 3-litre straight 6 turbo petrol with 430 horsepower. Then there's an S250D 2.5-litre turbo diesel straight 6 with 286 horsepower. Then the S400D, which has a 2.9 litre straight six turbo diesel with 330 horsepower. Then there's the 580E, which has a 3 litre straight six turbo petrol plus an electric motor for 510 horsepower. And thanks to its 28 kilowatt hour battery pack, it has an electric only range of 64 miles. Then eventually there'll be an S63 model with a twin turbo V8 with over 600 horsepower. Now all S-classes get a 9-speed automatic gearbox and air suspension as standard. Let's see what this S-Class is like to drive. I picked it up at Mercedes-Benz UK and manoeuvring around the car park is super easy. In fact, there is a mini roundabout here. I'm going to just circumnavigate it a couple of times.
포탑이
Start the rear
파괴되었습니다.
wheel steering. Look at this. Can I get round? Quite tight here. Can I get round that curving? I'm going to press this button, have a look around the car, make sure that I'm not going to curve the wheels. 360-degree view is absolutely brilliant. While I'm here, there's a parking space. Can I fit in this parking space? The parking settings on, so auto park will go on now. The car is actually sensing around it. It's got a blue line around it. It's sensing. Now I'm going to try and park. It doesn't think I can fit in there. Oh, yeah, it does. Here we go. Press this button down here, and I essentially have to do nothing. The car, absolutely everything, all the steering, brake and accelerator, and it's going to put me into this parking space. Look, feet are doing nothing. It's going to cover the wheels. I don't trust it. It's going to cover the wheels.
처치했습니다.
I'm so nervous, but no!
적이 학살
It's so good that you don't have to do anything. That is so close. God, it's so close to see that on the camera. Wow.
포탑이
Exit the parking space,
파괴되었습니다.
get the parking tap here, yes. Now what it should do, start parking with the parking button and display. There we go. Go. There we go. Be ready to brake, so. Now what it's going to do is use my rear wheel steering and slightly crab the car out. So both wheels are going like that when I
적은
move to the side.
전설적.
Get out. This is brilliant.
적이 학살
I'm doing nothing.
중입니다.
I'm literally doing nothing. Oh. There now. There we go. Good old test. Now, the highlight navigation sometimes go wrong. Like you do chevrons, I take this way. Matt, chevrons down here, so I need to go right on the augmented reality satellite navigation screen, which is using the camera feed ahead, so real-time conditions of the road. So that combination of the two of them is absolutely brilliant. First thing I notice when you're driving along in there,
전설적.
just how comfortable the car is. Air suspension is excellent. So you've got cameras up there, and what they're doing is monitoring the road, and they can spot lumps and bumps. They'll slacken off the suspension when you're about to drive over any kind of imperfection, and that means that you really don't drive roundabout is fine, so let's just check the handling and the acceleration out of a roundabout. Goes alright actually, this. It's a very smooth engine, very, very smooth and powerful. The steering, it's precise, but it's not heavy. It's nice and light. You know, it really has to be cruising about. The way this thing just walks up the road, it's like you're flying along the surface of the road on a cushion of air. It really is. Very, very nice. I'm actually looking for bumps, and there's a bump. No, it doesn't seem to upset it. Even the real sharp bumps, like expansion joints, they can really, it's an adult through air suspension systems, but this one deals with it pretty well, surprisingly. Look at that, look at that, you see that? Now what I did was something very stupid but also very brave, and I want to do the illustration for you. I didn't touch the brake when I was approaching the back of that car. I thought, let's see if the car will
적은 전설적.
and it did. It beeped, it pulled my seatbelt tight, and it automatically braked the car to stop me smashing into the back of it. There's so many sensors and everything just checking around this car. It is insane. Look, you can see it on this here. It's scanning around the side of the car.
적을 처치했습니다.
Now, on a dual carriageway, I'm going to put the automatic cruise control on. It's got lane keeping assistance, lane,
포탑이
radar guide. And I can override it at any time, both the accelerator and the brake. know, a bit of body lean against the luxury barge, but it's gripped all right. And the steering is sharp. Okay, cruise control back on again. And this is really cool because I can use it just on normal roads. The car in front, like an extra lane. So good, you can use control to do all the work for you. I'm basically driving round the streets using cruise control, and the car is doing everything for me. It's braking, it's accelerating, it's helping with the steering. The thing about this cruise control system is that when you're on the motorway, you can go pretty much full autonomous. You can steer to go into different lanes, leave at junctions, all that kind of stuff. And you can basically sit there and do nothing, not touch the steering wheel at all. Unfortunately, while the car can do that, the law
포탑이
can't
파괴되었습니다.
do that. But basically the laws change and the car will ready to go. There's also this thing where it can park itself, and I don't mean they can just park itself like I showed you earlier. You can get out of the car, press a button on your app on your phone, and the car will park itself. The dog find parking space in the garage. Incredible. Once again, it can't do that yet. But technically, this is easy as a car to do it all. And when it comes to driving long distances in comfort with technology to help you be safe as easy as possible, there is no other car that can beat this. It really is S-Class. So then what's my final verdict on the new Mercedes S-Class? Should you avoid it? Considering shortlist it, or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should just go right ahead and buy the S-Class if you're after a luxury limousine, because it's absolutely awesome. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Also, comment below any kind of other videos you'd like us to do. If you want to watch some more videos, click on the windows there. And if you click on the box, you can download the CarWow app. It's completely free. You can use it to browse all our reviews and see how much money we can save you on a new car. On average, you can save £3,600. Right. Also, it has a special number plate reader, so you can scan any car's number plate and it will tell you how much that car is currently worth. Download it.
업체기가 파괴되었습니다.
This is the new Rolls-Royce Ghost, and it's a bit like Kensington Palace. You see, it's not the main palace, that's Buckingham Palace, which is where the Queen lives, but it's still a palace nonetheless, and it's the palace for the younger royals. You see, Kate and Will live in Kensington Palace, and the Ghost is aimed at the younger Rolls-Royce buyer. The entry-level Rolls as well. Doesn't mean it's cheap though. It starts from £250,000, and in this video I'm going to give it a jolly good reviewing. But before we get into all of that, please make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to turn your notifications on. That way you will not miss a single upload. Also, if you're thinking about buying a new car, something a bit more attainable than this Rolls, click on the pop-out banner up there to get a CarWow to see how much you can save on a new car. Or if you want to do it later, just Google Help Me CarWow, and me and my team are there to help you decide which is the right car for you. Make sure you get it for a fair price from one of our trusted dealers.
Your one-stop car buying comparison site.
Let's start off this video by talking about the new Ghost design. So every part of this car is completely new. Nothing is carried over from the old Ghost, and it's bigger than before as well. So it's slightly wider. In fact, at its widest point, it's almost 2 meters wide. Here at the back, they have tapered it in so it doesn't have a big bulbous bottom. The back end is quite plain looking, but in places it is lifted by plenty of chrome, like here and around the tail lights, and chrome surrounds for the exhaust. And I use the CarWow sticker tweak to just illustrate that within there are 2 proper exhaust pipes on each side. Moving down the side, we come to the alloy wheels. So they start at 19 inches, which is way too small for this car. These are the top size, the 21 inches, and I think at the very least you've got to have these fitted, otherwise it'll just look underwheeled. This car has a very strong shoulder line, gives it plenty of presence from the side, and once again we've got chrome just highlighting it so it isn't just a big slab of black. And huge chrome door handles which are in the middle of the car, because obviously look, you've got rear hinged rear doors, makes it dead easy to get in. We'll come to the interior in a moment. I mean, it's a lovely looking interior, isn't it? Just shut the doors, which is done electrically. Go on. Now, this car's length, 5.5 meters. but you can get an extended version which is even longer. It's 170 millimeters longer. Now here's the controversial bit, the front. I think it looks quite a bit more aggressive than the old Ghost. Here's a picture of the old Ghost. What do you think? I think I prefer the look of the old one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You know I said that every panel's new. There is one thing that isn't, is the Spirit of Ecstasy, which is the same, but the grille's new. Thankfully, listen, the Carwow Stick of Truth, it's metal. If this was a Bentley, that'd be fake metal, it'd be plastic. But no, not on the rolls. You can literally mince any pedestrians that you do hit. Don't worry, that's not scratching it. Carwow's Stick of Tunes this time. Anyway, stunning looking car with a very interesting number plate. I don't think it's an accident that it has CFO in it. Let's see if it's suitable for CFO on the inside. Yes, it is. And then some. Oh, I can't quite reach the door. It's alright, it's got a button that closes it for. The inside of this is gorgeous. The quality of the materials is impeccable. The leather is just so soft. The stitching, even though it's done by hand, is just so straight. The wood veneers, they're solid and thick. This one has a unique detail in it. It's like shiny flecks. It's gorgeous. And everything that looks like metal is metal. They're solid. It just feels wonderful. This is solid as well. I like this metal strip here on the top of the grab handle for the door. Even the door pockets, look, they're lined with leather. Contrasting leather as well, the orange to match this on the dash. Fabulous. I like the dials as well. They're behind this glass screen and they're part normal physical dials, so the outer ring and the little illuminated bits for the increments of speed, but then the actual dial itself and the needle is digital, but it looks old-fashioned and analog. Great. Infotainment system, it's basically BMW's iDrive because BMW owns Rolls-Royce, but with a Rolls-Royce understated font on it. It's easy to use. You can use the swivel wheel or you can use it as a touchscreen as well. This thing is just glorious to sit in, and it's impossible to find anything to complain about. That's one thing. These bolts for the indicators and the windscreen wipers and the electrical operation of the steering wheel just feel not cheap, but like normal car-ish. And that's another thing as well. A little bit of a crease and a bit of leather. The only imperfection I can find is as if this particular car has spent its time like leaning up the fence. Other than that though, everything is gorgeous. And the carpets are gorgeous. They're so thick. It's like I'm stroking a lamb. Stop stroking the carpet. Carry on with the review. Everything though is dead easy to use. It's not just like form over function. Your climate control, you've got these dials. It doesn't actually have a temperature on it. You just have a sliding scale, but it's easy to get the temperature you want. All the buttons for like your heated seat and your ventilated seat there, nice and easy to use. You're not faffing around in a menu. Then you've got your buttons for your shortcut on the entertainment system here, but also for your radio stations. Dead easy. You want to let air in and out of the air vents, you pull the organ stops. The steering wheel, it looks like a piece of artwork, yet there are still buttons on it, but they're just blended in nicely. It's a great job. And there's some practicality in here as well, though. Look, you do have a glove box lined with belt. Handle is metal, it feels great. Look, even the little speaker surrounding for your Bluetooth, that's metal. This is metal, and this is leather, your grab handle. This lighting here is like something you'd find in Paris Hotel. And the seats are like huge armchairs. Obviously, they are electrically operated and almost infinitely adjustable. You could spend hours in these seats. In fact, I might just spend this today. But let's continue with the cover spaces. Underneath here, there is a little bit of space.